complex numbers. Simplify square roots of negatives. Before we reduce with fractions, we have to be sure to factor first. Let's see how this applies in example 1. As you can see in example 1, we need to start by simplifying the radical, as you always do this first. We know that it initially breaks into -1 and 300, but that 300 can be 3 and 100, 5 and 20, 5 and 4, and 2 and 2. So essentially, -300 can actually be written as -1, 2 squared, 3, 5 squared. And when we take the square root of this, we get 2 times 5 on the outside, or 10i, with a 3 on the inside. Let's put this back in the problem. Now, we might feel like we just want to take a 5 out of the 15 in the 5. Remember, that is not possible. We must first factor out in the numerator. Let's factor out a 5, which will leave us with 3 plus 2i root 3, all over 5. Now we can reduce since they're being multiplied. This gives us our final answer of 3 plus 2i root 3. Let's look at example 2. Here's example 2. Once again, we need to start by simplifying the radical, where we have -80. First, we get a -1 and an 80, and then we can break the 80 down further to 2 and 40, 2 and 20, 2 and 10, and 2 and 5. Which gives us under the radical a -1, 2 to the 4th, and a 5. This means that 2 squared, or 4, comes out, as well as an I, and that the 5 stays in. As you've noticed, the I we treat just like a variable, and it goes after the numbers. Let's place this into the problem. We have 20 plus 4i root 5 over 8. Now we need to reduce, so we factor out whatever we can in the numerator. In this case, that's a 4, which leaves us with 5 plus I root 5, because once again we don't need a 1 in front of I, just like we don't need a 1 in front of an x, over 8. We can now divide out the 4. 4 goes into 4 once, 4 goes into 8 twice. This gives us 5 plus I root 5 over 2, which is our final answer. So remember, when reducing fractions, that you must factor out first. Also, remember to simplify your radical at the beginning of the problem.